Hello there everybody, a very, very good morning to you all and welcome back to a brand new week in the markets and welcome back to another live stream here at Taurex and Atmos. Hope everyone has had a good weekend and is ready for a brand new week of price action, which means new opportunities, new trends to have a look at, new trades hopefully to place on the live streams as well. So the goal of today's stream, of course, is not only for the live giveaway. For those who have joined for that, you can comment win to enter our live draw and you can win a 10k two-phase Atmos challenge and also a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. You only need to comment win once and you'll be entered into our live draw, which I will draw at random at the end of the stream. Other than that, we're going to be doing what we normally do on a Monday, what I do as a trader every single Monday, and that is have a look at where the potential talking points will be this week in the markets, i.e. what's really going to move the markets, to be honest, and try and get some trading opportunities from that. So that'll be my task for today, which is what I do every Monday for those who tune in every single Monday for my weekly preview stream. I'll give you an update on the trades that closed out that I placed or showed you live on the stream last week. We have the result of those trades, and it was a decent week. We'll have a look at those as well, and we'll cover any requests from the chat. Any markets that anyone wants me to cover today, please drop that in the chat section, and I'll be more than happy to go through those with you. Lots of people on the YouTube channel today, so I just want to say a quick hello to everybody who's on there. We've got Yan FX, hello to you. T minus, hello to you. Dan, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Piyush, hello to you. Good to see you. A winner of one of our giveaways. Rakes as well, another winner of one of our giveaways. Kratos, hello to you. Good morning to you. Jane, good to see you. Percy's, hello, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Nasdaq, hello to you. I imagine that you want me to cover the Nasdaq today, which is fine. That's on the list anyway because we've got some really good gaps in the market to have a look at. So I'll make sure I go through those with you. Uongla, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Some of the usernames I can't really pronounce. Alicia, hello to you. Good to see you. Brett, Connor Woods, back to Monday. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. And Kratos, hello to you. I am doing well, and I hope you are as well. Haven't seen too much about the trading competition. I think I've got a meeting on that in just a second after this stream, so I'll take a look at that. Shivani, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. James Clear, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Nikhil, MRK, never give up. I'd like to say hello to everybody on the stream, of course. Ollie Maid, hello to you as well. Good to see you. Fatai, hope you are doing well. Destiny, hello to you. Nikhil, have I missed anyone? Probably not. YanFX, hello. Gold, we've got some requests coming in now. CHF, Japanese yen, yes, no problem. I'll go through those. Kirkton, good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you had a good weekend and ready for a brand new week in the markets. Okay, where do we start? Let's go from the back, because let's start with an update from the trades from last week. I won't go into too much detail on this. This is just trades from my own personal perspective. We had a trade on gold. I will analyze gold. Don't worry, I'll come back to it. I just want to quickly talk to you about the trade and how it got on. It was a bit of a riskier entry, to be fair, but we got zero drawdown from this entry that we had. A tiny bit of drawdown from here. My entry actually should have been here, but it was slightly higher. But look at that, beautiful. It went up to 6.87 to 1 risk reward. Now I only put a small risk percentage on this because it was a lower time frame trade, and I don't typically trade on the lower time frames. However, you can see how beautifully that trade worked out, and that analysis, if you go back on the streams, that analysis was actually placed live in front of you all. So really good one. I hope people managed to benefit from that if you did. This is the importance of risk management as well, by the way, because as you can see, people will probably say, yeah, but look, the trade come down and took you out. Yes, it did. But I'd already taken enough money off the table. So it was a really, really good trade. And if I actually go to the trade itself, where is it here? You can see, yes, I was stopped out. You can see that. But you can see the blue on that. A 2% profit, pretty much. On like I risked like 0.5% as well. So yes, I did have some money left on the table and stopped out entry, and now you can see the market's moving in the other direction. We'll talk about that later on in the stream. We'll do a complete change and a rerun of gold, no problem. And in terms of the other trade, again, similar sort of story really. Trade got off to a really great start. We entered a dollar yen short. I remain bearish on the dollar, to be honest. We'll talk about that as well today. But you can see the trade initially running into my favour, got up to 3.5 to 1 before coming out and stopping me out at entry. Again, risk management was key here. I made sure that I got some profit on that trade. Again, dollar yen. I need to sort that out. I'm changing my office today, and I have my MT5 on my laptop, but I always use my phone to track the trades. But again, stopped out at about 1% profit in total. Happy with that, and we move on to the next one. A few more people on the chat. Hello to you all. Jeanette, good to see you. The gold trade was great. Thank you very much. I'm glad you managed to follow that. Francis, what are we looking out for? Well, we're looking out for more trades, of course, now, because I'm out of all my trades. Closed out. The reason that I was stopped out, like you see here, and like you saw on gold, the reason was because let me go to gold. And the reason I was stopped out here, I'm sure some of you are able to guess. Why do you think? I'll put it to the chat. See if anyone can reply. Why do you think I was stopped out so aggressively on Friday? What's the reason you think? Let me know in the chat section. I'll see if you're right. There's a particular reason why the dollar strengthened and gold fell on Friday, which is an important thing we need to understand. This is previous analysis that I had put last week. These are my previous trades that I done last week. I'm just giving everyone an update. Why do we think, guys, that we saw such a big, steep fall in gold and a sharp increase in the dollar, and therefore news is correct, but what specific news came out on Friday? NFP. Here we go. YanFX is straight in there. I'm always transparent as well, Kratos. It wasn't, sorry, not Friday. I do apologise. You're right there, Elijah X. It wasn't Friday. It was Thursday. I always thought NFP was on a Friday. You actually caught me out there. Nice one. Yes, it was basically this. A really strong NFP report came out. Very, very strong, actually. Surprisingly strong. I think the biggest thing was the fact that we were expecting 4.3% unemployment, but it came in at 4.1%. And let's talk about the jobs data itself. I mean, that came in at 147k. The forecast was for 111, and I believe the previous was left alone, I think, or maybe even revised. No, we're saying it was revised down, but I wouldn't say it's like majorly strong, but I think overall you can't argue with the fact that that's a lot of green on the screen, and unemployment claims were better as well. So overall that was positive for the dollar, and that positive nature of the dollar dragged gold prices down, and that's why I was stopped out. Oh, I don't have a crystal ball, although I'm big on my economics. This is the reason that these forecasts are in place, is that's really what we expected, right? So I didn't expect NFP to come in that much stronger than what it did. So yeah, I didn't close out my trade before, but I protected my losses. I protected my stop loss by moving my stop loss to entry before the NFP result came out, and then I was stopped out at entry. And you can see if I'd have held on to the trade, then I would have been in big trouble. I would have been in a loss. So yeah. Thank you, Alicia. So, yeah, NFP. Well done, guys. Yeah, exactly that. Okay, cool. That's that. That's last week. We don't care about that. What about this week? Now, when you look at the economic calendar for this week, this is what we dealt with. FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday is probably, in terms of what's scheduled, is our biggest event. We've got the RBA as well, which we're expecting the RBA to cut interest rates once again by 25 basis points. We'll see what effect that has on the Australian dollar. That comes out tomorrow. There's nothing today to worry about, guys, so don't worry too much about news today. Wednesday is the RBNZ, so the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. So we've got the New Zealand Central Bank and the Australian Central Bank. So if you're a trader of the Australian dollar or the New Zealand dollar, that's the report that you need to be looking at. The RBNZ is expected to hold rates at 3.25%. FOMC meeting minutes, it's probably my least favourite economic event, right? Because everyone gets so caught up in it. And all it does is you'll see what happens in the markets, right? What you'll see on FOMC is you'll just see this, right? And all these retail traders will get caught out trading it. The reason is because there's hard, unless there's something new that we find out. Did that light just turn off? That was weird. Unless we find anything new, nothing is changing from what we had 6 weeks ago. So you get the FOMC meeting minutes. You get basically the notes of the meeting 4 weeks ago, right? So that news has already been priced in. So everything we read at FOMC meeting minutes is pretty much everything we know anyway. So there's nothing to really worry about there. So that's my rant on FOMC meeting minutes. I don't like it. I think it's a trap for retail traders. So just bear that in mind. You traded NFP with Shane, Jeanette. Nice one. Oh, good one. Maybe I should start doing NFP lives again. I hope Shane's doing well. I miss him. Kratos, you caught a 15-1 risk reward on USD CAD. Wow, pretty good. Nice one. Very, very good. We have unemployment claims on Thursday, and then the week tails off into nothing. Overall, guys, this week in terms of this, it's pretty manageable. I don't think it's too volatile, but there's something that is not in our economic calendars which we need to be focused on. Does anyone know what it is? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? There's a major event coming out this week that isn't in our economic calendars, which I believe will be the biggest market driver for this week. Does anyone know what it is? Doesn't matter if you don't, because I'm about to tell you. No? No one knows? Anyone know? Anyone on top of their fundamentals? Does anyone know? Yes, here we go. That's it. Exactly that. That is really important. So the deadline, the July 9th deadline for the tariffs is coming on the 9th of July, funnily enough, which is on Wednesday. So what I think in terms of like market moves that we should really be looking out for is what Trump decides to do. Does he decide to extend the deadline? Does he decide to hit those 35% tariffs? So let's just read a little bit of this article so we can all understand exactly what it is that we need to be worried about. So the clock is ticking for US trading partners as President Donald Trump issues an ultimatum. Finalise trade deals or face steep new tariffs, some as high as 35%, starting in August. With the July 9th deadline looming, Trump has already begun sending out formal tariff letters to multiple countries, setting off a diplomatic scramble to avert an all-out trade war. It's all coming back. It's all coming back. Trump's threat is part of a broader, aggressive push to realign US trade relationship under his America First scheme. Here we go. You can basically read what it means for each individual country. But we're going to find out on Wednesday whether these are going to be enforced. Now, judging by the current market moves that I see, James Clear, if it hits, USD will blow, right? Well, yeah, I agree, right? And what I really like about this, now, if you wanted my opinion, I think Trump's going to do it. I think Trump's going to go for it. The reason I think it is I'm thinking politically from a standpoint. If you look at the stock market, it's at all-time highs, right? There's no real concern about the stock market anymore because we're above all-time highs. Does that give Trump a little bit of ammunition to say, let's just enforce these tariffs? He's not been shy about it before. Why would he be shy about it again? I know the other argument is, well, he's delayed them before, so why wouldn't he delay them again? But I think the situation right now, strong US economy, stock market at all-time highs, a Federal Reserve that he wants to start cutting rates, yeah, interest rates are high. Those three things, I think, gives Trump ammunition to be like, let's throw down these tariffs. Because the markets have currently absorbed those shocks. Now, it's just a theory that I have in my mind. We'll see. It should be Trump's strategy in trading. Yeah, it's just a theory that I have. And when you look what's happened to the likes of gold, right? I like the fact we're starting to. It's not much of a pullback, but I like the fact we're starting to squeeze that price consolidation. You can really see it. We're selling off a little bit this morning, and the US dollar, which I think is great as well, is the US dollar is starting to pop higher. Guys, the US dollar is not bullish. The amount of people I'm seeing saying that now the US dollar is now bullish, it's literally factually not bullish. It's bearish. This is beautiful. We're starting to see a retracement from the lows just before Trump comes in on Wednesday. If he decides to impose those tariffs in an aggressive nature, expect that, right? On the dollar, expect this in gold, okay? And probably expect, to be honest with you, this in the stock market, depending on how aggressive they are. That's my base case for this week, and that's really what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's really what I'm looking for this week. So we'll see. I would say though, it's risky business trying to trade that before. What I think I'd rather do is, I'm just reading one of the comments here, why don't we stick to technicals? Well, this is where you marry the technicals up with the fundamentals, right? So for me, if I get an excuse to buy gold, or I get a technical level to buy gold, or I get a technical level to sell the dollar in the lead up to Trump on Wednesday, I'll be happy with that, especially if I can get into some profit before. This is what you need to try and do with fundamentals. You've got to try and get into the trade before, right? If it's a good trade, obviously you can't odds this, I know, but if you can get into a good trade before the fundamentals and you get moved into profit, as you approach the event, if you've got a bias about where it's heading, if you're in that direction, if the news does go for you, your quid's in, you're making a lot of money, right? If the news goes against you, if you're already in profit and you're sensible and you moved your stop loss to entry before the news event come out, if the market does go against, if the news does go against you, like it did for me last week on NFP, you're stopped out at entry and you've already made some money. That's my golden tip for you. So let's look at gold and let's look at that excuse to buy, what I'd like to call it. And I'm going to try and find a good support area for gold because my bias is bullish on the daily. We had a good trade there, but as always, we don't dwell on past analysis. That's gone now. And now we look at the new analysis. So, I mean, if you have a look at this, you can see, to be fair, we've traded straight into that fair value gap, and we've actually started to move lower. Can you see that gap there? We traded straight into that and started to move lower. It's unlikely, to be honest, in the lead up to Wednesday that I'm going to get what's been my ultimate buy area, which is down here at 3231. It's unlikely we're going to get that, but that still remains like my favorite support area. I'll still keep that there. I'm just trying to see if there's anything from this current bullish leg that we've got from this low up to here. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe something that looks like this. Even if we just were to target this area again, that's a 4-to-1. Interesting, 4-to-1. However, should the tariff situation go in our favour, or in gold's favour in this case, then we could aim for the all-time high, of course. That would be the next target. Or you'd probably just aim for these highs along the way. Like, I'll just manage the trade as we go. 6-to-1 is that high, and then 9.7-to-1 is that high. So that would be, yeah, I mean, I quite like the look of that. I don't know about what anyone else thinks. If I drop down to the 1 hour time frame, yeah, I mean, I'm covering, okay, or maybe not, maybe I should cover that to be safe. But that puts my risk reward down quite a lot. I think I'm happy with this. as a 1% trade for me. So this is my gold trade idea for this week. 1% I'll be putting on this, and as always I will post this into the Discord channels. All reasoning on explained on today's stream. Let's go. Gold, gold, gold. We'll see how it goes. And this is the thing, right? Oh, I didn't even put the picture in. This is the thing, I'm just reading some of the comments there. That looks like a strong buy area only if the selling is not aggressive. Yeah, if the selling comes down aggressive and I get stopped out, it's 1%. I made 2% on gold last week, so even if that lost, I'm still at 1% net up over the last couple of weeks on gold, so I'm happy with that. Rem Knight, hello to you. Tariff escalation equals bearish dollar against the yen, Swiss and euro, and bullish gold. And of course too, tariff de-escalation equals bullish dollar against the Japanese yen, Swiss and euro, and bearish gold. Bang on, fully agree with that. Trump determines the movement, then yeah, for sure. I believe that Trump determines the movement for this week. Trump is supreme. What's a Forex trader's favourite type of music? I don't know. I'll let you all comment on that, whatever you want. Cool. Okay. So that's my gold analysis for today. What next? What about stocks? Because over the weekend, people, you can see fair value gaps from where Friday closed to Monday's open. The only issue I have is obviously the Trump situation. If he decides to escalate the situation, I don't think that will be positive for the stock market. But again, he might not. He might delay them. He might scale them back. He might not be too aggressive, and therefore that makes this fair value gap a good buy. And it's always good to be. It's always good to be prepared for all situations. So if I look at the 50% of this gap, it sits like that. So for me, really simple trading here, nothing too complicated in this. I would pretty much just do this. $6,240. So I'll do that for the S&P 500. For the Nasdaq, well, you can see we've already filled the gap, pretty much. Okay, can already see that. Look at the reactions though. Look, you can see how support does try and come in around these gaps, around that 50% area. You can see that. So, but okay, that's the Nasdaq one, and then the US 30, I imagine's got one as well, which looks like this. Now you're probably asking, how do I trade fair value gaps in a time where there's like 3 of them for like all similar markets? Well, I use the strongest market, so I'm obviously trying to buy the stock market from the bullish fair value gap. However, because we've got all 3 stock markets with gaps, I basically use the one that gets filled last. So I won't trade the Nasdaq because that's being filled first, because in my theory these will all get filled. So I wait for the final one. Whatever the final one that hits 50% is the one I buy. That's what I do. So we'll see how that one goes. Okay. There was a few other requests. I'm sorry if I got. Oh yes, so someone wanted me to look at the Swiss franc versus the Japanese yen. And I've got some analysis coming up on oil as well. I've got some news on oil as well. Swiss franc versus Japanese yen. Here it is. Well, I can quite clearly see we're continually making quite clearly in an upward channel here. So I always say that, you know, it is what it is until it isn't. So we can expect there to be support. Oh, look at that. This would be the way that I would look to trade it. Because I don't do channels. This is what I would do. So if you go back on the price action, always looking left, you can see we've got a liquidity sweep here. Okay. And then the market decided to make a new high. We then came down, failed to test this order block or this demand zone, and then continued higher. So for me, this now creates a liquidity area there. And then we're looking for something that looks like that. And that would be how I trade it. That would be how I trade the Swiss franc Japanese yen if it was me. It's not really a market I trade, to be honest, but that's how I would trade it. Someone requested the DAX. Oh no, I trade the DAX quite a lot, to be fair. So let's have a look at the DAX. The DAX, I believe, has got messed it. The DAX is just still working beautifully from this trade here, to be honest. If you did manage to get in on that, however, I didn't, which is annoying. So let's just delete that. Okay, what have we got now? This would have been the trade on the DAX quite clearly, to be honest. It's not over yet though. Fair value gap. 50%. Didn't really hold the 50%, but we are seeing quite a strong. Okay, this would be my trade. This is a scalp trade. This is definitely a scalp. Sort of sits within the 61.8 of the gap. Not really an area that I use, to be honest, but as a potential like really ultra low risk trade with like what's that, 15-point stop loss, you can get like 5-1 just from targeting the top of the gap. So this looks to me like more of a scalping opportunity. Do you know what? Quite like the look of it. I might place like 0.2% on that to try and get 1%. That's probably what I'm going to do, you know. I'm going to do a 0.2% buy on this DAX here. Oh, so I'll post that as well. It's another trade idea for today. When I get off the stream, I'll place it. It shouldn't be tagged in just yet, but when I get off the stream, I'll place it. My personal 0.2% DAX buy. Just to try and catch on some momentum, I think. I like the look of it. Sometimes you just get a good feel. But as I said, I'm not a big lower time frame trader, and when I do, make sure it's small risk, small risk. Thank you, Anafix. I appreciate that. Your views on the pound versus Japanese yen? Sure. Let's take a look at that. Pound yen. Look at that. Beautiful. I think if I was going to trade pound yen, to be honest with you, I would wait for this area. I would wait for this. Okay. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert there because I quite like that area a lot. So really simple trading for me. I'd look for something like that. A retracement before the trend continuation. Indeed, Francis, exactly that. That's exactly what I would do. And in fact, I am going to look to do that myself. I will set an alert there, so I don't need to keep checking the chart, and we'll see how that goes for the foreseeable. Okay, just quickly turning back over to fundamentals. Now, I don't know if anyone saw this in terms of oil traders. If I've got any oil traders in the room, I like trading oil. This is news that just come out this morning. Crude oil prices have fallen after OPEC hikes August output more than expected, dropping nearly 2%. Crude oil prices traded low on Monday. OPEC basically decided to announce a higher than expected output hike, so they're putting more supply of oil into the market. While uncertainty over US tariffs and the potential impact on global economic growth weighed on oil demand expectations. So more supply into the market, less demand expectations. That means oil prices lower. So following a robust upward trend from early June, MCX crude oils formed a rounded peak. Technically, there was SAR-based consolidation. Blah, 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 I don't care about that. But anyway, more supply into the market from OPEC. They decided to increase supply in a time when demand prospects aren't at their highest. Therefore, that sets up for oil downside, surely. Where is it? Why is it not on my red list? Sometimes I click it by accident. Okay. The problem is with oil at the moment, it's not really, with that fair value gap's not really worked out either. Maybe you'd have got a nice initial sell, but probably would have been stopped out here. It's not really looking like the strongest of sells, because it's not really doing a great deal. Sorry guys, I don't really like that. It's not really anything. There's not really any area here that I can look to sell because there's so much imbalance. Maybe on the lower time frame. Even still, you can see how we've sort of respected these bullish areas, these support areas. You can see how we respected those, and now we're looking to go higher. You could argue that you could look for a sell there. It's not my favourite thing to do, to be honest, because you can see that we're sort of respecting this bullish leg here. So I think that would probably be a stop loss. So we'll sit out that. To be honest, we'll sit out. This is TradingView, yeah. I'm using TradingView. I use TradingView to do the analysis, and then I use MetaTrader 5 to do the execution of the trades. The reason being is TradingView is a lot easier on the eye for you guys to watch me do the analysis. It's a lot easier for me to use as well, because the drawings and the tools and the colors and stuff it looks a lot better. It's a lot more user friendly. MetaTrader 5 I just use purely for like the actual trading itself. Old website for the news. This one here, Financial Juice. FinancialJuice.com. What would be the effect of this on USD CAD? Let's have a look. And in a minute, guys, we're going to do the live giveaways coming very, very soon. We can see the effect it's had on the Canadian dollar as a whole. Probably. A little bit of a mixed bag, really. It's not really absorbed the news that much. Okay, that's quite a bullish break on USD CAD. That's on the hourly time frame. Was it like on the 4 hour? Potentially what we've just done here on USD CAD is this may be the start of a bullish reversal. If we are going to get a bullish reversal on the dollar, we could do, if we are going to get that, then for me, this is like the start of it. What we now want to see is we want to start to see some breaks of structure. Mainly this one. If we see a break of that structure, then we look for something like a support area alongside here, and then we look to go higher. So it's a good one to take a look at, to be fair. It's a good one to take a look at if we're going to see a dollar bullish reversal, that's for sure. Okay, cool. Right, we're going to do the giveaway. Been on for 45 minutes, so people probably wanting to see who is the winner of our next giveaway. So same as always, we're going to be giving away a 10k Atmos funded challenge, and also a 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. If you are announced as a winner of today's giveaway, please drop your Discord username on the live stream, and I'll message you on how to claim your prize. Okay. Some people who maybe have clocked off of the stream, they come back and they put their username on the video as it's posted on YouTube. You can do that, but if you don't do it in time for the next stream, then I'll be rolling over the prize for the next stream on Wednesday. Okay. Good luck to those who have entered. We've got 98 people who have entered into our giveaway, so good luck to those. The winner of our 10k Phase 2 challenge is Vinner. Vinner, you are a winner. Vinner the winner. Well done to you. You have won the 10k Atmos challenge. Please, if you can, drop your Discord username on the chat, and I will message you on how to claim that prize. And the winner of our 50% deposit bonus into Taurex is Swan Sean. Swan Sean, you have won the 50% deposit bonus into Taurex. Again, please drop your Discord username and I will message you on how to claim that prize. Remember, guys, if you're a subscriber of the YouTube channel, then you'll get double the chance to win. It just gives you double the chance. You don't need to comment once, just gives you double the chance. And if you're not following me on social media at Connor Woods Trading, feel free to give me a follow. That's my TikTok and Instagram, and my Twitter is at C Woods Trading. Give me a follow on there and I will follow you back, and I will post some helpful content for you on there. You can message me on Discord, Vinner, yes, no problem. Drop me a message on there. Ideally, you need to drop your Discord username on here, to be honest, so I can verify you. Depends if you've got the same username or not. If you've got the same username, it's fine. But whatever. Not too fussed, but sometimes people can pretend they've won and they've not. So yeah, drop me a message on there then, Vinner, no problem. And also to you as well, Swan Sean. That just about wraps things up for today's stream. I'll be live again on Wednesday. Thank you to those who tuned in. We'll be doing another giveaway as well, so another chance to win. These giveaways aren't ending anytime soon, don't worry. And if we can get up to, say, 200, 300, 400, 500 people on the stream, then I can maybe look to ask for some extra giveaways. So share these links, share these giveaways and these streams out with your friends, and follow me on social media, and I will be able to potentially increase the prizes. Okay. We've mapped out for this week. Everything is in plan. We'll see how we go. If you need me, I'll be on the Discord channel. You can scan the QR code down here. Until then, see you soon. Trade well, trade safe, and yeah, I'll see you soon.